Wrap
I like that. Hello, welcome, welcome. Do we have any folks from town? No, no interest whatsoever. That's fine. So let's call our September 8th meeting to order. We usually start with our agenda review, and is there anything to add or change that anybody has seen since we put this together? All right, then let's move on to if anybody shows up and has questions or comments, we'll gladly take them as we usually do during the meeting. So moving on to administrative items, the minutes of the July 7th meeting were sent out, and the only boo-boo in that document, as far as I know, is that the top of the document says agenda instead of minutes. And so with that change, is there approval, or are there any other changes or edits needed? Okay, so seeing none, we will assume that all are approving those minutes of July 7th. Thank you. Now, the next item is our CPIC annual report, which I always lose track when that has to get handed in. It's kind of October.
October-ish, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was due on October 31st last year.
okay, great. So I've drafted something, I sent it out. I think the only person who responded, he said that he couldn't be here today, was Joe, and he had nothing to add or change. But if anybody else does, I'm delighted to take.
The only thing I would do is add 2024 on the dates,
Oh,
like September
Mm.
9, 2024.
okay, right,
Great
good,
suggestion.
thank you. Yeah, easy to get,
24th, 2024.
right, yeah. Yeah, thank you. We can't proceed on assumptions and hope to be clear. Yeah,
It's very confusing when you're trying to look back like 3 years.
Yes.
well,
that's right, or even a year.
Yeah, yes, that's true, that is.
Otherwise,
Especially if you're
I
old.
thought it
I just said it was hard for me too.
Got it. Okay, so that change will be made, and then I'll share a new draft with you.
Yeah, I took in a preliminary look and I didn't have any issues, but I can take a deeper one to
Yeah.
provide more.
Okay. So then just looking at, I know this is a work in progress in terms of the schedule. with the planning board and their review of certain articles. Tonight, not tonight, Thursday night's planning board meeting, there are 3 chapters, I think 4 something and something.
4, 12, and 14.
Yeah,
And 4 is they're just finalizing a decision on lot size and frontage in
Yeah.
R1 and R2. It's proposed to be reduced in the recode. There's concerns that that is outside of the scope of a cleanup. They wanted to come back to it with a bit more information. I will say that just for you guys, since you're on CPIC, you might find this interesting.
yeah,
Almost half of the parcels in R2 are currently non-conforming due to lot size, and 3/4 of the parcels in R1 are non-conforming due to lot size, so. I am suggesting that it be reduced as part of a code cleanup. Maybe we say that it is a significant portion of a code cleanup, but that's what's happening.
When you say non-conforming in R1, their lot size is smaller than what the current code
Yeah.
says they could be.
Yeah, the current code says that your lot has to be at minimum 20,000 square feet in R1 and at minimum 30,000 square feet in R2. There are 550 parcels that are under 30,000 in R2. That includes most of Ivanhoe. I think almost all of Pinewood Drive, a strong portion of Bay Park, actually, the interior section of Bay Park.
Yeah.
And the area near Arbor Ave, and then some miscellaneous lots along River Road. And then in R1, I don't remember the numbers, I was doing that one today. I think it's close to that, because there are less parcels there in total. But I think it was like 600 and something. I know it was 3/4 of the total. And
wow,
that's like all of Woodside, almost all of Topsham Heights, a ton along Elm and in the historic district and stuff. That one's basically, if you're not a large parcel in R1, you're probably not.
interesting. Okay, well, we'll see how that shakes out. But so that's the main thing in,
That's
Article
all that's
4.
happening from
Yeah.
Article 4
Yeah.
to my knowledge,
Yeah.
unless they found something that I don't know about.
yeah, and I think 14 is non-conforming.
14 is
So that-
non-conformities, yes. And Tom will be there to talk about that one.
Yeah.
And then 12 is conditional use, so I don't actually know if we're gonna get through everything on that.
Yeah.
Um,
But other than that, these dates at the moment.
at
work
this
for you.
moment, those are the dates. I have I would guess I would say that I could see they're very easily being pushed back one meeting, because I don't know if we'll get through everything this Thursday.
Yeah.
And I could see them needing another meeting,
Okay,
we'll see.
and from what I saw on the agenda, this Thursday's meeting is purely workshop, there's
Yep.
no other.
And just check out that
That's
way.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, well, good stuff. So that takes care of the admin items. Let's go on to,
What time's that meeting start?
6:30 PM,
6:30.
yep.
Yeah.
And we'll probably start with Article 4, since it's first, so.
Yeah.
If anyone cares to be there, to hear about that, find any commentary, planning board, not that it's open, but you're always welcome as citizens to go to those meetings.
right,
I would be there on time.
Yep.
That felt like it was pointed towards you, Rick, because you were late last time, but I didn't mean it that way.
Can I just
Yeah.
review, it's Article 4 and possibly another article?
It, on the workshop agenda, it is Article 4, Article 12, and Article 14.
Okay.
To you guys, regarding the scheduling, for your knowledge, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get through all of that. They're all kind of meaty. So they may need to add another meeting for that, and it will push everything back one meeting.
okey doke. And of course, we never know what's gonna come through the pipeline for other types of planning board
Yes,
considerations.
I did block off the 25th from development. So I need to track some things down for that one. But yes, I do expect development to resume in October.
October, okay. Okay, so moving on to recode matters, ooh, what did I mean by this? Update on the planning board, the workshops, I
I
don't
think I
think
just
there's,
gave that to
yeah,
you.
if there's anything to say other than what we've just discussed.
Yeah.
That makes for a lovely short meeting. Moving on to the meatiest part of our agenda, the height flexibility in the center zones, looking at revisions that have been discussed by you and Leslie. right?
Yes.
And Tom has,
Tom's looked at them,
Wait,
Tom
and-
didn't really have any feelings on these, the attorney has looked at them and Josh has looked at them.
okay, so attorney hasn't,
So yeah, let me talk about that one, cause,
Okay.
so Leslie pulled these together from a list I provided to her. I will say that I clocked 2 issues with it myself.
yep,
If you guys read this, the part under building height, it like is if you want another story, the planning board can approve a waiver. We can't do it that way per zoning. I don't know why they wrote it that way. I thought we had been really clear that waivers aren't possible, but
Mm.
it keeps sneaking in there.
yeah,
So that's gonna get changed. It will just say you can have 5 stories if you do these things. It's just the way it's phrased.
okay, so, yeah.
It doesn't change any
yeah, just take. that word out.
functionality. It just needs to be rephrased a little bit, you know, so, and the other thing that I had noticed that potentially is an issue, and I think I told Susan to tell you guys, or told you myself, I can't remember last week at all.
Trees.
Yeah, the mature trees, that was something that Josh had suggested, you know, is that maybe that could be a good thing, particularly a tall building can be softened if there are mature trees on a lot. So, Leslie had written that up, but she told me that if you don't have like an existing tree ordinance, because those are apparently quite long, they have a lot to them, I guess.
Mm,
If you do not have that, it can be hard. So what she did was she wrote in that like the planning board can determine that trees that are within like the development area can be taken out. I tried to get the attorney to weigh in on that. I think he got really distracted by the first part that said waiver and didn't specifically weigh in on that one. So I sent a follow-up and said, hey, is this one specifically okay? So we will find out. I did want to get from you guys tonight, you know, how do you feel about that? If, you know, how do you feel about that? If the attorney comes back and says, oh, that language is complicated, do you want us to work to try to get it fixed, or do you want to drop it and not put the extra work? And I wanted that decision from CPIC.
mm,
I would be concerned with it if we don't have a tree ordinance, because you go through that effort of protecting it during development, it's permitted, but all it is protected until the thing's built.
Yep,
And then a mature tree, if it poses a hazard to the property, the property owner's like, listen, I gotta take that thing down before it
Yeah.
falls and does damage, so.
Mhm.
You know, there's no, without the tree ordinance.
Yep.
What's the point?
Yep,
so that's the next thing on the agenda is to create a tree.
It's
it's a lot of work.
it's kind of a slippery slope, and
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the concern with mature trees
Mhm.
is the safety and property damage.
And you
of
don't know the
turning
health
sick.
of them, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How that health is gonna be continued after you build a structure and
Yeah, and go through a couple of droughts,
Yeah.
you know,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, yeah.
Okay, great. And I guess, and I wanted all of yours' opinion on all of these, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's coming
Is
to
it
you.
possible to increase the
Yes,
size of
sorry.
that baby? That's all right.
Yep. Sorry, everyone, it's particularly small.
Yeah.
Don't know why it does this.
This appears to be a lot.
Okay, well, it didn't like whatever I just did.
No, it's good enough.
Really didn't like that.
Oh, we're getting bigger. Keep going.
Yeah, but there's nothing on it.
Let's go find
I'm no more skilled in managing these things online, so.
I've not had
Where
to
did
do
it
this
go?
before. I'm gonna maybe stop the share, try opening it up again. I feel like
Okay,
sometimes
yeah.
Adobe just gets angry at me.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, oh no, that was.
Hmm.
I didn't actually close that out. I just stopped the share screen. Okay.
Okay.
Fingers crossed that this will work.
Beautiful. Oh,
Yay.
that's just
That's
about
good.
visible. That's
You want
great.
one more?
That's perfect. Okay, so that's the top of this big
I do
section.
also have one
Yeah.
extra printed one that I accidentally printed, if someone wants
Yeah.
a printed version of
If
this.
anybody wants it printed, go for it, want it?
I got it.
Got it? Yeah, give it to,
Yeah.
Robin.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
We
so-
talked about the tree, because of historic building height at the top, right, so.
Yeah.
So if you guys wanna tackle trees first, or you wanna just go through the listing of
Let's
the
just-
trees when you get there, that's fine, either is.
Yeah, let's just go through and let's just be really methodical since we got plenty of time.
There's a type, doesn't make sense up there, the third sentence,
Third line,
third line, I'm sorry,
planning board may approve.
maybe,
Yeah, that is gonna
Yeah.
get changed completely because it can't be a waiver.
Yeah, but
may approve.
They can't approve a waiver anyway, so we're gonna rewrite that first section.
Oh, okay.
anyway.
so just make
Thank
it
you for letting me know it's gonna get rewritten enough that I
Okay.
think it won't
the
be an issue.
grammatical
Yeah,
thing be, yeah, taken care of. Good. Okay. So let me just think under parking. Um. I have nothing to say about parking. Anyone else?
The only concern I have is like solar energy systems are recommended to be supplied on top. What?
I didn't think.
Required, not required, or, yeah.
I mean, if you guys as a board feel that you would like to go in either which direction, you can. The reason that I brought this one up, is because Topsham Mall is an urban impaired stream. When I was trying to do some work to reduce that chloride load on it,
Yeah.
parking, covered parking came up a lot. Solar parking is oftentimes what you see in that case, because then you can get a return on your investment for, capturing solar.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure how it would look if I said you were required to put in solar covered parking.
Yeah.
So that's why we had said, I was like, well, I don't think we should require that, but should we put that language in there to say, hey, if you're gonna do this one, you could put solar on it and give yourself
benefit
some
from it.
money.
Yeah.
But there's no teeth to it. It's really just there to say, this is an option to covered parking. But if you guys feel that you'd like to remove that, this is your
I think
chapter.
I'd leave it, because then they'll at least think about it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with Pam, yeah.
And we have run into a couple of, trusted opinions who don't like requirements.
Yes.
Oh,
But,
yes.
I mean, this one is clearly something that with the investment will benefit the developer, so.
Okay,
But if you just wanna put in covered parking, that's all, you'd still get the benefit.
Yeah, but I think encouraged is not a bad thing. Are you okay with that, Rick? To leave it?
Yeah, I'm okay as
Yeah.
long as it's not a requirement.
It's not a
And
requirement.
as long as it's not like. Yeah,
It's really
That's
just a,
good
hey,
point.
if you're thinking about doing this one, consider doing solar. We recommend it because you'll get more bang for your
just,
buck.
yeah, fluff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
To put the thought in their head, because I think it would be better, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna require it, would be my thought.
Now, moving on to facade material. I don't really know what this means. Must be full dimensional or economy sized. Oh, unit face bricks. So,
It's brick.
so if people use a brick facade, they can have another,
Yep, and I wouldn't have thought of this one. This one came recommended from Leslie. And the thought, I think, is that in Maine, a lot of times in a town, the tallest building will be a historic mill building,
yeah,
which is usually made of brick.
yeah,
So the thought was, if you're gonna go up an extra story, but you're gonna make it look good with brick, which people tend to like brick, that you could get that. So
Yeah.
once again, for you guys to discuss, but
Yeah.
this one came from her. I remember you guys wanting to see what Sushi
Yeah.
suggested. I would say this is the biggest one that I kind of got from her.
yeah,
What is a brick panel?
fake brick.
Faces or?
Yeah.
It's what's on town hall, right?
Oh,
I believe, no, I'm serious.
I believe you, I just find that funny. I think it's a cheaper version.
Well, and
Yeah,
that, yeah, that's my concern with the language. My two questions here would be, number one, is this in sync with the materials?
I think so, cause it came
And
from
is it,
her.
if it's allowed on buildings less than 5 stories, would be, if it's allowed in other
It's
places.
definitely allowed in other places. I mean, we don't,
Right,
yeah, we definitely allow brick. I think that this is more, this is above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably not gonna choose to pay to do 85% of your building in, full dimensional brick. But if you'd like to do that for an extra story height, that's okay, we'll say yes to the extra height of story, that's my understanding of this one. If you'd like me to reach out to her and get more information, Rick, I can. On it,
Is there a way you could say that so it's more understandable? You've got must be full dimensional or economy sized, comma, unit face brick.
oh, okay,
That doesn't make sense to me.
I think
Yeah.
You don't need the comma.
I think you guys are actually, I think you're onto something there, Pete, because I'm looking at Article 8. And under brick, it says full dimensional, comma, economy, comma, unit, comma, face brick. So I don't know if she's trying to say that all of those are good or not, so let me,
The last one, brick panels not allowed, is pretty clear. But
yes.
she may be trying to say full dimensional, economy sized and unit face are allowed, right? Are we're just a little fuzzy here.
Yeah, I'll note that to her that we couldn't figure that out, can we clarify it?
So we're looking at the table
We don't
eight
do
dash
that.
one,
Feel-
right?
That's
That's,
Yeah.
Yes.
sync with that.
I was, and when I looked at it, it looks
We
like
can
maybe
understand
there's a comma missing.
How can the developer understand?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a comma missing or a comma that's not
Yeah,
needed.
Yeah,
And then listening what you just read from table
the
8 or
table
whatever,
8-1,
that sounds like 4, 5, 6 different things.
right,
yeah.
and part of the brick thing, that
Yeah,
are all allowed.
but are they all different kinds of brick things?
They're all
Or,
nuanced bricks.
It's really funny, today is the day we could have used Joe.
I know.
Yeah,
because if
just,
they're all different kind of things, then
I see, if you take
there's a
the,
full dimensional comma,
Yep.
economy sized comma, or unit vector.
And it's based on 8-1, I thought that unit and face brick were different.
That's what it looks like
Yeah,
at the table.
Yeah,
So that's the question. Are they the same or different?
yep, I will
Yeah.
clarify that.
Okay,
yeah, I guess my question here is, it has more to do with consistency with chapter 8.
yeah.
Okay,
And if this is the only place we're introducing what's not allowed, is it covered, that's what
Interesting,
what I'm
yep,
saying is, I know
yep.
table A1 says what is allowed,
Yep,
Yeah.
but in chapter 8, if the intention is to identify stuff that's not allowed, it should be identified in chapter 8 as not allowed, and then this
And
could
then
just refer to
it should
chapter
refer
8
to chapter,
for
yep,
Right.
that's a great point.
clarity
Rick.
and
Yep,
consistency.
yep, I like that.
And
That's
that
a
way
good
we're
point.
not, because you shouldn't be coming to
It should be brick as defined in
as
table
defined in
8-1.
chapter 8.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yep,
Yep.
agree.
Sounds good.
That simplifies it.
We got there.
Okay,
Okay,
clarity about the facade material. Good. Now we're onto the trees. Yeah, so lacking a tree ordinance. What is the thinking here? Your thinking?
yeah,
And obviously Leslie was suggesting lacking a tree ordinance. It's
my,
dicey to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our thinking, I will say, I'm throwing Josh under the bus with me. No, the thought behind it was that, a lot of times we see a lot of trees come down.
Yeah,
And in the comp plan, there's a lot of focus on, green spaces
Yeah.
and kind of preserving that.
Yeah.
So it felt in line with that to say, preserve mature trees. I will say Josh and I had to meet with her about this because it was a little confusing to her, and that's when we kind of got that if you want to fully do this, it's gonna be 3 pages.
Mm.
So that's why I did this, and I said, okay, I have to talk to the lawyer because I don't know if that's actually allowed to say that. And I will say, if you guys feel like, it's kind of a stretch, we don't know how this fits into the comp plan, we don't know how it fits into the center zones, we can just scrap this,
I'm, my personal feeling, and I do think it's a little bit in sync with the comp plan wanting to preserve sort of green spaces, is as long as we're not setting ourselves up for a problem. But that's a big if.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when property not far from here went through the site plan review, and it was specifically noted that there are several large mature trees to be kept, and they all came down.
Mhm.
And it takes a long time to grow a tree,
Yeah.
and they're valuable. They're valuable, not just, I mean, they're valuable for cooling, for shade, for all kinds of things. So I think this is not one to be taken lightly if we can not take it lightly.
Does. Sorry.
Go for it. No, I'm done.
Does Thompson still have a tree?
Yeah, I don't feel like
So
we've any-
this,
nobody's speaking for the trees.
right,
and the
well,
stuff.
but I see this as being problematic without a tree warden who can speak to the health, the size, the type, all those
Mhm.
Yeah,
issues that get raised. I mean, and I see this also being problematic if, okay, which trees are coming down? Okay, those that are 15 inches in diameter at breast height.
Mhm.
Okay, so if it's a 14 incher, it can go.
Mhm.
And then I see that
That
being,
is, I think.
I see that
it's the
being.
Combined canopy,
Yeah.
aspect, but I
Well, what I'm saying,
understand what you're saying.
I see that,
Yeah.
now
yeah.
that
So-
raises the ire of like, wait, no, that was
Yeah.
put in the ordinance to prevent something just like this from happening. Is, well, no, it's, 14 3/4. It's gotta go. It can go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I said, for those reasons, I just see it being
Mhm.
problematic, and I say this from the perspective of dealing on construction sites
Mhm.
where we halted construction waiting for the tree warden to be
Mhm.
the deciding factor, and without that
Yeah,
entity here, it basically
To weigh
comes
in.
down to the code enforcement officer.
Mhm. Yeah, it does.
did Tom weigh in on this at all?
Tom said looks good, but Tom may not have thought about that. I can check in with him. We do, your landscaping plan, your landscape plan for your site plan, if you have existing like street trees, we will hold you to that for them.
Yeah.
And so, and also, if someone were to cut down the trees in front of Target right now, those are street trees required per their site plan, that would be an issue. So I guess I could, it sounds like maybe the board is split enough that I could spend a little bit more time trying to figure some of this out.
Yeah, I just hate to see a tree be what hog ties planning board's approval.
Well,
of
I
the
guess the
story
thing
on the
is,
addition.
yeah, well,
This
yes.
is about
See.
allowing for extra height.
Right,
you
right,
know?
but what I'm saying is I hate to see some ambiguity in this one topic be the thing that says planning board saying, listen,
Can't go forward.
we
Yeah,
can't approve this because
Mhm.
because we're not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I think that's a really good point. I also think you've got a good point. I'd like to know, just because there's more work I can do on this to address what you guys are bringing up, I'd like to know how you guys feel about this too.
Are trees addressed elsewhere? That's what I wanted to.
Not retaining existing trees necessarily, I mean, sort of. There's sections in the 175
Site plan.
site plan landscaping section that deal with trees, like. 196 is supposed to be a no-cut zone. There are options you can take to revegetate if you cut. That's probably the most robust part of the landscaping section, honestly. There might be some more information in there. We certainly do deal with, like, if we said to do this, this would not be the first time that the planning office is dealing with a tree on a plan, like, the code officer currently reviews tree cutting plans for stuff along 196. I can have a more in-depth conversation with him and understand how he feels about this if he were the enforcement entity.
Yeah.
I can speak to the lawyer about the ambiguity of that, like, second sentence. And the answer might be, yeah, no, we can't do it. Sorry, guys. I know you liked the idea, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna work. But if you guys are interested enough, I can do the work. But if you're here tonight saying, no, don't do the work, I just need to know that.
I'm in favor of trying to save trees that are not in the way
Yeah,
of the actual construction. But, as it was pointed out about the size, the definition here, you're defining mature tree. A 60 feet in diameter,
That's a canopy
That's it.
cluster of multiple trees. So a
Overhead.
mature
With
tree,
Leaves, branches.
yeah, a mature tree apparently has a canopy of around 30 feet, usually, you know, a 15.
Yeah.
So the
a
15 inch.
vine canopy. that's
Yeah,
right.
combined
yeah.
canopy, so it's basically one mature tree, which is the 15 inches in diameter at breast height, which is a very common definition. Or it is a combined canopy measuring over 60, so say you had three, but they had a combined canopy. But yes, there is still ambiguity here, and as I started this conversation, I had some issues with the ambiguity.
So a tree that's 15 inches in diameter and with one canopy and no others of 30 feet.
Mhm. It's an or, the 15-inch one is protected.
You can't cut
Yeah.
it down,
Yeah.
or, I mean, the thing is, if you save it. You can have an extra height on your building, that's the whole point, right? That-
Yeah,
I mean, and none of these are being mandated, it's if you want that extra height on your building, you got some options. This is one of them.
And they have to decide whether the annoyance of having to work around a tree is
Yeah.
worth
That's right.
the benefit of having the extra
I
height.
don't-
I will tell you that when we came here, our building site was covered in trees.
Oh,
They clean cut
yeah,
the entire street,
Mhm.
just raised it all,
the whole street.
the whole street. And we got, each house that was built got one street tree, paid for by Highland Green.
But by you, in the long term.
Well, in the long term, yes, but it was, well, actually, it was a Highland Green tree and I don't think I paid for it.
Okay.
But if I wanted any other trees, they were on my dime.
Yeah.
And I was just,
So that's an
I was
interesting,
sick
yeah,
when
Yeah.
I saw what they had done.
Yeah,
Yes, it would have been harder to keep trees.
Yeah.
They didn't have to clear cut, but did
No,
they, I mean,
no.
they just raised it.
but that's the difference between some developments and other developments. Is some want that ease, wipe them all out. We want the convenience and the cost savings
Yes.
of not having to mess with those trees.
And then with trees behind us that did not survive the building process
Oh.
and are dead,
You're responsible.
Yeah,
I can't get them to remove them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pay for somebody to come cut down dead hemlock trees. Otherwise, I'm gonna be looking at dead hemlock trees till I die.
yeah.
right. And all of the hemlocks are endangered
Yeah,
anyway, so,
Yeah.
yeah, woolly adelgid.
so I mean, I like trees.
Mhm.
I think we should encourage trees, but
Yeah, well, and this is just to educate myself, do we have any idea, because you asked about a tree warden?
Yeah.
I mean, what a concept, do we know towns in our area that have a tree warden?
Brunswick has an arborist.
Bath had an
Excellent.
arborist.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
I don't know if they, I mean, he's now got his own business. He takes care of my
and
trees.
if, so it might be a part-time thing,
That would-
right? But
It could be.
Did it.
We need an arborist in this town.
There's no one, I mean, maybe that's part of Tom's duties or
Oh.
fire.
Because I've seen a
but
lot of.
I don't know
really
anything about that.
caterpillars and
That's
trees that are-
that's an interesting thing in terms of
Yeah.
if we had somebody to call on, you know, who was sort of, we had on retainer.
How would we get one?
But I mean, I think what this is raising is,
Another process after this one.
well, I think it's worth considering, you
Well, I
know?
think it's something we need, if we're gonna have streets for people and
Yeah,
really care
yeah.
about the landscape, you know, you need someone to care for it, someone to assess the health of the trees, because yes, a tree might be tall, but it may be unhealthy and unsafe to keep it.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
want someone who can determine that.
I will say oftentimes, like, you know, in Topsham, a lot of what we do is we push the burden of proof onto applicants, so, you know,
They have to.
they have to pay an arborist
Yeah.
to say these trees are healthy, this tree is unhealthy, so therefore
Yeah.
please exempt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that's I don't know, I think the answer I'm getting here is you guys like this enough for me to try to get this written better, that it could work.
I think my sense is then that there's not total happy consensus, but there's a general liking of this to
interest.
have to
Yep.
have a little bit more.
Yes,
Flesh
not the
out, yeah.
finalized language, I would not let this through with this language.
Okay,
So going back to the definition as you want, so if one tree is over 15 inches in diameter at breast height.
Yeah.
That's gonna be saved, and then you're talking about clusters of trees.
Yeah.
With a combined canopy over 60 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
That needs to be saved also,
Mhm.
if you want the extra height.
if you want it, right?
And it is outside the building footprint or area of significant grading or surface parking,
Yeah,
Right,
so. But you add all that together, I'm questioning like.
I don't know, and
how-
that,
how
yeah,
many of those, how many are left in the Topsham Center?
I don't, yeah, I do not know. I don't know how many people could meet this. I don't know. Yeah, I think sometimes when Josh and I talk about these things, he does more stuff outside of center zone
Yeah.
where there is like.
Yeah.
You know, that fact, looking at center zones, I
I
think.
think scroll up, just where this.
This devil contract as a developer kind of be like, okay, well. Listen, my excavation area is gonna extend into those zones, so. I guess,
You would have to, the way it's written, you would have to request it and it would have to be reasonable, but the way it's written, I don't think is appropriate for a zoning chapter, so once again. I need to figure out if it's possible.
Yeah.
I hear that there's some interest from the board, so I'm gonna run it down.
right,
Thank you, save the trees.
Yeah. And I guess I will say, like, you know, you asked the question, Robin, how do we get this, you know, how do we do more on this?
Yeah.
I think partially what was thought of when I was doing this section is, okay, what are these things that are a little bit more out there that I'm not gonna get into the zoning code
Right.
as a requirement right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
But maybe if it's optional, some people do it and it becomes a little bit more because there's people that are interested. So that's why some of these are a little bit more out there.
So just to clarify in my own mind, the opening of B. You can get your extra height. If you do only one of these?
I think it's gonna be one, yeah,
think
that was the
that's not
impression.
clear.
No, I know,
That's
B needs to be rewritten. How I saw it was that if you do one of these things, you will get one more story of height.
Yeah.
Because the reason I say that, Rick, is because, sorry, I heard you a little. The reason I say that is because currently in the Topsham center zones, you can get an extra story of height for doing at grade or below ground parking. We currently allow that.
That's right.
Recode is taking that away. I tried to put it back in and then there was even more desire for flexibility around height, so that's where these other options came from, is that, you know, kind of equivalent to that. And if you guys have other ideas you'd like to see us try to get in here, we did talk about it earlier this summer, but I think we could talk about them again if you wanted to.
no, my is only about the language, it probably should be edited to say, and one of the following.
Yeah, it needs to
yes.
be fully rewritten.
Yes.
I don't know what she did there.
Yeah.
I said, hey, why does this say waiver? And she's like, oh, Kirk wanted it. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
From-
why?
from-
Why don't you hear the lawyer when he says no waivers in zoning? But I guess he says he says design is okay, and so you just take that.
Like as okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, cause the way, the language, the way it's written now.
It's ambiguous, right?
no,
It's super-
yeah,
see,
You don't have to do
it-
four of these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
right.
following.
Yeah, no,
one,
no,
two,
no.
three, 4, 5, it makes it read like.
Oh, you're right. That is
Awesome.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is not what I intended at all. It was very much choose one.
Yeah, choose one.
Choose
There you go.
whichever one fits for you.
But since you brought the thing up about the underground parking. Where, and we're
It's
losing
this
that
one.
at structured parking.
So it's a little bit more broad at this point, I think. To allow adjacent parking as well.
Right, but wouldn't we want to also structured parking or below grade?
I think technically that would be structured parking.
Really?
Am I
Okay.
wrong about that?
No, I think.
Is it right?
See, I like the way it's written here is you provide the parking per the design standards of 2040.
Oh, got it,
You
got
go
it,
there
yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll define.
Got it.
what that
Yeah,
is.
and I really do think that that would be
Oh.
underground as well.
Yep.
So 20, 40, 60,
It's 240, 60.
yeah. I can't say these things normally anymore. Attached structured parking is a garage or open structured parking within or attached to the building.
Yeah, but.
Yep,
And does it? mean-
within could be in the basement.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
I mean, I can flag that for Tom to check, but he hasn't checked it as an
Yeah,
issue,
as
so.
long as it's there, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, sorry, here we go, A, Attached structured parking is allowed fully in a basement or in the rear of any ground or upper story.
Perfect.
Yeah. There's stuff here.
That's what we want. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we're down through the trees and wait, community space. Okay, this is a tricky one.
Yeah. It just comes up in the comp plan a lot,
Yeah,
which is why I keep putting it in things.
yeah. I mean, it's, you know, honestly, I just wanna go on the record, and if other people who are on this committee think that I'm not on target with this, please tell me. But I don't think the comp plan as developed points to the creation of a community center per se. However, it talks about gathering spaces, it talks about parks, it talks about walkable town center, walkable areas, mixed-use buildings, so that people encounter each other. It's in nowhere that I saw in the comp plan does it say we ought to create a community center. I just feel the need to say that because we've gone very far down the road. And I'm not against a community center. It's just that, you know, it talks about the value of people encountering each other in an informal way, unplanned way, or, yeah, I run into Robin at the supermarket and let's sit on this lovely bench under a lovely tree and have a cup of coffee, you know? So community space does come up in a lot of different ways. And we've also gotten some interesting, very specific pushback from stakeholders around, you know, if this is my land and I have this development and I do a master plan development and I'm gonna be required to set aside either green space or public space, you know, isn't that a taking is the phrase that's been used. So,
Guy, I want to hear.
yeah,
Oh, just, we already
I'm-
require it for our subdivision ordinance. They're just
It's been in the
cherry
ordinance
pickers.
forever, right? I mean.
It's a long time, yeah.
Yeah, our little neighborhood has, people don't know it, but there's space that was set aside. It was undevelopable space.
right.
We
right,
don't
right.
like that as much anymore, but
No brainer, yeah.
yeah.
And how is it used, Robin?
You know, we used to snowshoe in it
Yeah.
and hike and walk and.
Are there any benches or anything that could actually be a
No,
gathering
It's not
point?
really
No,
even known.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
my husband is just an explorer, that it's off the, right of way for the power lines.
right, right.
Oh,
Yeah. We
Yeah.
just walk back there and people walk the power lines too. And
Yes.
people walk anywhere. We walk along, people walk along the railroad tracks. So
Yeah.
I think the idea in our comp plan is to codify some of this or to make
Mhm.
it more accessible.
Yeah.
And to, yeah, but.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a taking when it actually enhances your property too.
No, I don't think per
And
like
if-
case law, that's considered a taking.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
the
I think
people will
Phil
enjoy
would've
and
told
be
us
there
by
more
now.
because
Right.
they're gonna wanna use it.
yeah.
So this is just this is kind of building upon, I think, something we've already put into the center zones a little bit.
Yeah.
It's giving a little bit more that this must be a community space, you must have these things.
Where the
Um,
people can actually reserve. I mean, that's kind of an attractive.
Yeah, in this case, I think the topic of the taking is a moot point, irrelevant, because this is
Voluntary.
voluntary. in
And
order
you're
to
getting
gain
it,
the extra
yeah,
height,
yep,
right?
yep.
It's a-
You're
if
getting
you-
something for it.
It's an if then, so it's
Yeah.
not a mandate.
Yep.
So,
Right. That's
Yep.
right.
you're not,
Yep.
the only question I would have here would be reservable space, for fee or not fee.
Oh, yep.
Huh. Good one.
For what?
A fee.
Yeah, it
Is it
seems like
free or
not a
for free?
fee and I'll
Yeah.
have her clarify that.
Clarify that, but I would also say, see if that's appropriate or not.
Okay.
Because I know
There's
even,
always cleanup.
well, even,
Yeah.
even the library, there's fees to
Okay.
reserve that. for,
Okay, thank you.
Non-public.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Non-public meaning, Like,
say I had a fly tying club, I wanted to hold our meetings and our sessions there.
Yeah.
I believe there's a fee to reserve.
okay, great, so maybe we'll just
So
copy
whatever,
whatever the
I would-
library does.
yeah, kind of look
Okay,
at.
great,
look at
great, thank you.
Other public space
Yeah.
around that.
Even events that are like, that would be maybe a private event, because it's a club or something.
Right.
But even an event that is a completely open to the public event,
Yeah.
there are also fees for that. They're very minimal.
Right.
But there are fees in terms of
Mm,
sort of I mean, it's just,
That would be, yeah,
yeah,
I don't know,
just a,
clarify.
yeah, clarifying question here. So, yeah,
yep, no,
It's-
that's a
it's
great
there.
point,
Yeah.
yep.
$3,000, use it whatever you want.
Oh, man,
Any other?
but you have to
thoughts on
clean up
this?
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So these are the ones that came through.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts about the size of these? 150 square feet is, I mean, is this, what is
This
this
about-
room? This is,
100, I'm very bad at that.
I think this is smaller. This is larger.
No, I
than
was gonna say, this
150.
is probably 175, 200 square foot
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not a large room we're talking about. That's,
Mm-hmm, okay, I
I'm
feel a
thinking-
little small,
yeah, it feels a little small, like what can you do in there? I mean,
yeah,
we're thinking about the library actually, because the library has that large, lovely room,
Yeah.
but it also has a couple
and
of
it's
little
only
meeting.
one
rooms.
of the following, so I think we
Yeah.
can ask for that to
It
go up.
up a little bit, I would think a little bit.
Since you are good with sizing, does anyone have a suggestion for size, or should I put that back to Leslie?
I would put it back to Leslie. but
Okay.
A 20 foot by 20 foot room, I mean, that's
400, that's 400
that's
square feet.
400.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you have to have a
Yes,
massive
or I mean-
party space, but
Yeah,
a
could be-
meeting space,
I
you know.
mean, that multiple space could be broken, it could be multiple 150 square footers, it could be multiple hundred, whatever, you know.
Yeah, it seems like maybe compared to some of the other things here, that's a little bit of a gimme. And maybe both of them should be a little larger, cause 450 is a little
Yeah.
small for a
Public
plaza or
outside.
green too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just say that for both of them,
Yeah,
little small.
great.
Yeah, 400 square feet for an outdoor green, that's a picnic table.
She
but-
Yeah.
might be used to Chicago size.
Yes, yeah, I think that's possible, so, okay, great, and we need community gathering spaces. I mean, I can't have some of the meetings in here, cause it's too small,
Too
so,
small, yeah.
great point.
Okay, so we've gotten through that list. Are we through? Is there?
That was all, that was all. Then it just moves on to large format spaces.
No, there were several
Oh,
other
that
purple
last-
things.
Just that last line there about if it's in the
Wayfinding.
the rear yard, less visible, yeah, wayfinding signage. That, I think that's fine.
I think that's good, I think that's appropriate, cause people need to know it's there
Yeah,
and how to get
Yeah.
there. She might have changed a few other things for me
I
in here.
think there were a few other things. None of them really flagged my,
I was gonna say, I don't
Yeah.
know of anything big. But sometimes I say, hey, what
and
is
there's
this?
multiple colors going on, right?
I know,
So
she told me that there
red,
was
blue,
getting to be too
green.
many.
yeah,
Oh, there's. Where was it? Oh,
right there. Look
I
at
think
that. Isn't that cute?
this is probably a
One
change
building
per
names.
the attorney.
Hmm.
I don't know why that was added, actually, I don't know. Sorry, did you wanna read that
No,
one?
and that's just, no, and that we just went through.
We just
all
went through all
yeah,
of that?
Yeah, uh,
Oh, yeah, this might
this
be
is
the,
just
I think,
making it,
yeah,
on the
she's
table.
adding where they
Yeah.
are applicable,
Right,
probably,
right.
yes, this is the links to the
Yeah.
one we just went over, so.
Yeah.
Up to 4 stories, so the traditional, yes, okay, so this is good, so the traditional storefront. Currently is listed at 2 to 3,
just, yeah. and she's-
3.5, and now it's up to 4 stories in Lower Village and Upper Village. And it's up to 5 stories in commercial mixed use, mixed transitional and master plan. Per the standards we just saw. Let's see which other ones. General building
5 stories in the transitional.
currently, that's Park Drive.
No,
No,
I just wanna,
do we wanna take that back?
we're looking at page Is it? It's hard to tell.
Sorry, it's
Two-
page
2-14, right?
3-15.
15, okay. Huh. The table,
Yep,
because it's traditional storefront specific regulations. So, because she changed it to 2 to 3.5, and what we've got now is 2 to 3.
yep.
So she's changing
What did she say there? Those were two things.
as though it's currently 2 to 3.5.
No, I think she's adding the 0.5.
Okay, adding the point.
Maybe she was just hearing
Up
me when I
to
was
4.
saying that. I mean, I will say Rico did bring down some of the height allowances a little bit. I think. So I might have
Of
just
what
pushed
had been
back.
allowed.
Yeah, I might have pushed back on things a little bit. This is your guys' time though to
Yeah.
provide feedback on this if you aren't comfortable with any of it.
So say that again, because you recode
I think so. I
reduced what.
feel like
what
it might
already-
have. I'm gonna pull up the, sorry, I should see the thing here very easily.
I mean, this is the kind of thing we don't want to get caught out. In terms of, we've run into a thing before around recode takes away the possibility of underground parking as an incentive, for height. And so now we've got that back in, that's good. This is another potential thing that we're hearing from Sky in terms of if we're actually reducing the height in
It's this
recode,
one
that sounds
here.
odd.
What's 27 is probably the structure thing, let me just check it really quickly. Yeah, that's the structure.
So here's the table. Maximum building height, okay. So this is a very different way of doing it. And we're looking at. What,
It was lower in Upper Village, so
just,
LVGC
okay,
45 right now.
yeah. And how does that compare to what we're talking about? Because she's talking about stories, and the stories are.
You're allowed an extra 15 feet of height if you do structured parking, so it's probably 3 in the LV and VC right now. And then it goes up to 4 with the structured park. Yeah, that's what that is.
So the change that she.
I don't know,
just
yeah, I don't know
made.
why that there is there, Susan. The only thing I can say is I think I did. Maybe, I feel like I remember us having a conversation about that topic and she
yeah.
may have. Just said that she
Use
didn't
that.
think it would be that bad and maybe this would be a way to give a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah,
Without having to do the additional criteria that you could just have that extra half story.
right. Okay,
But if you guys would like to change that back to 3, this is your chapter, this is your time to. I think
No,
that that's
I think-
fine, I think height
yeah.
is a good idea.
I do too,
Okay.
because we're talking about town center, and density.
Did you
We
want?
don't want skyscrapers, but.
No, we're not there.
3.5 to 4, I think is.
Did you wanna talk mixed transitional, Rick?
Yeah, I was just
I
questioning
I
what,
think they were already combined together with the other two, and the other two is where it's appropriate because,
correct.
yeah, cause MU. Or whatever, mixed use, the commercial mixed use. That should be retitled to mixed use commercial because that's what it actually is.
Right.
That is where, if we didn't allow 5 stories, they would be taking a loss with the
Right.
structured parking, and since the transitional was already in there. I don't see harm with that myself, but I am a big height proponent myself, so I need to make it clear that maybe I try not to be biased about things, but I do tend to just,
Yeah,
you
be
know,
transparent about it.
yeah.
Any thoughts about this from anyone?
Well, it's definitely future vision of the town is having more density and maybe taller buildings to accommodate the needs that are very present. I mean,
And they
it's
did,
gonna look different than Topsom of today.
yeah,
Right.
I did look at other local areas for this too, and yeah, I think, you know, there is some examples of the 5-story, you know, in other local areas. It's not super common, but
Where did you have a look?
I lived in Bath and I lived in Brunswick and I lived in Portland.
Yeah.
I think the 5, there may have been one in Bath. I think that was more common in Portland.
I would, because Bath has like senior housing, maybe
Oh, I don't know if I checked that one. I was
Good
looking
point.
on Main Street
Yeah.
or, you know, down the
Because
pretty
You know,
street.
I don't know how many stories that is, do you?
yeah, I don't know if it's for.
I think it's more than.
I think it is
I
too.
think it's-
I think it's, yeah.
We always call the Ceausescu building in Brunswick. the-
Yes,
That
Yes,
also is.
That's like
subsidized.
9 stories.
yeah.
It's an oddball, but it's there.
Just so I don't pull it up.
Well, and they certainly got a lot of units in there.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just was gonna see if I could figure that out really quickly for you guys.
Is, yeah, I don't have a strong feeling on the mixed, transitional, but it's got the potential to be a weird abutting thing if you end up with a 5-story building abutting residential housing,
True.
which was kind of the intent of the transitional.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Would you guys? I think it's, I think that is 5 stories in Bath, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's 5. Would you guys prefer to see all of them brought down? Or the mixed transitional pulled out because it has things that are different about it?
You
That,
know what I'd like to do is I would like to, because I don't have any problem with the commercial mixed use or the master plan development. But the mixed transitional, I think we should look at a little bit carefully.
Yeah.
Why don't we look at the
Yeah,
zoning map and
Yeah,
see
I'm
what's,
wondering zone map or even like, I don't wanna rejigger this whole table. I'm almost thinking even just a footnote for mixed transitional saying. the
okay,
Additional,
around the abutting?
for mixed transitional, additional story height.
yeah.
Depends on,
Is not an option.
oh,
What about the abutting residential? Well, but that does change.
Yeah.
We get a little
I'm-
weird about
Yeah,
that.
just thinking saying,
Yeah.
look, it's everywhere, but for now,
You want the
mixed,
new.
mixed transitional, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it builds up in the future, then okay, then you get to delete the footnote.
Easier said than done.
yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, this is being difficult to pull up right now.
Because
And-
again, that is, it was kind of the work for the waiver, and I just don't see, I honestly don't see. 5-story.
Well-
Yeah, no, I guess I do. No, take that back.
I mean, there's 4-story going in at Park Drive
Yeah,
right now.
that could easily be a 5th. I can
Yeah.
easily see like, the medical building on 196 could have been made a 5th.
Wait a minute, which
The
one?
one over by the bike path? No.
Over there, Sam's between,
The top, the
Sam.
medical.
Oh, yeah. It's so annoying to me.
Interesting. This is a little off topic, but it's about maps. Have we already changed the coloring of the effing map?
I can more easily now. I finally figured out how to use
Oh,
GIS
that's
again.
great. Oh, yeah.
But I did also do,
Because that, that was really.
yes, I know, it'll go out to them.
At some point.
This is
No.
the most finalized version I had that I did with editing software.
Look at you.
But I can actually just use GIS at this point. But yes, here we'll look at this one. This is supposed to be matched a little bit more to what we currently use.
Okay, and so enlarge it a little bit if you can. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so. If so, that's the whole mixed transitional. So when you think about all of the, like.
To make it clear, single family homes are not allowed here now and will continue to not be allowed
Yep.
here.
Got
So
it.
this one isn't
Yeah,
super abutting.
Nope.
Yeah, that one I see. Again, yeah, this is where I'm almost saying, don't forget what I said, just
Okay.
leave it alone because they're
Yeah.
perfectly.
Let's
They're
hit the extra things to get
perfectly
5.
appropriate there.
It's
Yeah.
probably okay.
Yep.
And what's, I mean, over in this other much larger mixed transitional,
The
what we've,
original.
there is a buffer zone, right? And then there's, is it Mallet?
This is.
Yeah, Mallet Drive.
Not showing, this is actually really interesting that it's doing this. This is Forest Glen, there are houses all
Yeah.
along here.
Uh-huh.
But. You know, those houses have already kind of had their worst nightmare happen with Park Drive going in, so.
Huh.
You know, I guess, I think it's, oh. I mean, we certainly get things from people, oh, they're building apartment buildings, what are they doing there?
Oh, no, those weren't there when a lot of Park Drive was built up.
Wait, sorry,
Where you just drew your cursor on that abutting line,
Yeah.
those were built after at least the upper half of Park Drive was.
no, sorry, I
Yeah.
call the residences at Park Drive by the Goodwill Park Drive.
Oh,
I apologize, that is just planning department shorthand. I meant, they've already had the worst thing happen to them, which is
Multi-family housing.
4-story apartment buildings right here.
Yeah.
And that was tongue in cheek, I do
Yeah.
apologize, I shouldn't make fun of that, I understand that if you buy a nice house in a little neighborhood, that could be a lot, but that is already permitted, there was already a zone change for that.
Yeah.
It has already occurred, is really
Is
what
and
I'm
I
saying.
could.
Vegetation
easily see
buffer?
that being 5 stories.
There is a good buffer there,
Yeah.
there's a
So
good buffer there.
I take,
Yeah.
I retract everything I
Okay,
just
great,
said.
good. I'm glad we looked at this, I'm glad we looked at
No,
this.
thank you, Susan, I'm
Yeah.
glad we're looking at it too.
Okay.
But I think it's good, so let's find the other places where this is, so we're all good with
Yep.
traditional, and
Okay.
this is traditional storefront too, so that's just a clarifying to you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Okay, so this is suburban storefront, no, she is supposed to be putting in a note somewhere, and I'm telling you guys this because if she forgets, I'll try to remember, but it's probably good for you guys to know. She's supposed to be putting in a note, like a little like FYI,
Yeah.
that if you're doing the suburban storefront and you want extra height, you should be moving to the traditional storefront. Suburban
Uh-huh.
storefront is by definition meant to
Single
be
story.
single,
Yeah.
I think it might go up to 2, it goes to 2,
Two,
but no
yeah.
more than 2, if
Right.
you wanna do 3,
Do a different.
you should do a
building, right?
different building, and so I did say to her, you know, maybe it would be good to just clearly call that out.
Yeah.
And
get-
she
get
said yes.
explicit, that's right.
So,
That's right.
I'm telling you guys that so that if you don't see that in there at some point,
Yeah.
should be in there.
Yeah.
This is the general building, which is,
There we go, okay,
up to 5,
okay.
which is, I think we already talked
Yep,
about
that's
that
right,
as
that's right.
being okay.
Yeah,
These are
And-
all of them. This is the mixed residential as well, which is R4 up near the schools. I would argue though that that is also appropriate up there. That's a pretty dense area and that is a lot of the goals up there was to get.
Yeah.
Denser apartment living if possible,
okay,
but this is your chapter. If you guys want to discuss that, please go ahead.
any thoughts? I see wrinkled brows. No, okay. Okay,
And row building. Did not go up. Yeah, we just discussed that. She thought it would look goofy.
we don't
I
do.
agreed
goofy.
with her on that one.
Yeah, at that point, just move to general.
Yes, she was
Yeah,
like, it's just
yeah.
a general building at
Yeah,
that point,
yeah.
so that was fair.
Yeah.
And then civic building. I don't really think anyone needs to go above 3 stories for a civic building.
No,
Do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
would the community center be,
I really doubt they're
Be a
gonna go
civic
to
building.
4, yeah, it would be, but I don't think they're gonna go to 4 stories for that. I would see 3 as the absolute max there.
I think the conversations I had,
No, I-
no more than 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm
a
just
member
asking.
of not
Should be a
negotiable.
viewing area.
Like the Bath YMCA is 2
Yeah.
stories, you know, because you have
Yeah.
the, not that I think they're planning on doing this, the upper track, you know, usually looking down, I
Yeah,
don't.
they were talking, something like.
Okay, yeah, I'm not super keyed in on that,
Yeah, and I only went to one meeting
yeah.
several months ago. There's.
You can go to one when you get out if you'd like to.
I know they have a phase, you know, they have
Yeah.
a big vision,
Yeah.
and then they understand that they may have to do it.
Yeah.
more than once.
Yeah,
and the only,
Phase.
the
Yeah.
only other one be, churches and religious, and how do
Yeah.
you define a story with
Hmm.
the spires?
let me make this civic building.
Good point.
Yeah, because that's in a lot of cities around the world, there's a church that's the tallest one.
Mhm,
Because they restricted all height to be below the church steeple.
mhm.
Or in the case of just a lot of ones, that was just happened to be the tallest one, because Portland was the Catholic church up
This-
until they built that recent tower.
Yeah, this is the only one, it looked like I said, because because civic building is so the most flexible and wide open is that
Yeah,
with I'm thinking of particularly a steeple spire,
Mhm.
some feature that,
yeah.
is it a story or is it an accessory?
Would you guys feel
building?
comfortable allowing this to have more height if they met the criteria? Do you think that up to 4 with this maybe would be appropriate or?
Hmm.
She didn't bring it up, but you guys are talking about it, so I wanna ask your thoughts.
We're a New England town, I mean, I can't see,
Yeah.
really huge, massive civic building.
Boston is in New England.
True, but major city.
No,
We're not a major.
We're not.
I don't
We
think we
never-
allow for brutalist architecture unfortunately underneath this, so that does take out the Boston.
What I was just wondering if,
One.
like, would there be an incentive to achieve that? Or
Sorry,
just by right?
the 3.
Yeah,
That's what you guys have had for.
no, because 3 is fine. but
Yeah.
What we're
With the
looking at is,
4,
do we want to?
it
think
would be the
about
same
it?
criteria you just went over.
Okay.
That's what I was
Okay.
asking, yeah.
You know, you don't think?
No, I guess I don't see, I don't see any issue raising it to 4.
With the criteria.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
criteria. Interesting. Look at us.
Good job, CPIC. Alright, that's usually the last building.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, because why would the civic building be shorter than everything around it?
Yeah.
That's fair, that's
right.
fair.
Yeah. Hey, that's slow, because I think they're,
Oh, was there another one?
no, you keep going. You're,
I was afraid I had gone too fast.
I guess we're good.
Think-
Yeah,
think that was
that's
it.
Yeah, good.
Great,
Hot dog.
alright, so parking is good. Facade material, we're asking for it to be more clearly labeled, and we would like it to reference Article 8, if at all possible. Mature trees, I'm gonna do some work with the CEO and the attorney
Yeah.
to see if we can get something workable. If we can't, I will cut it, but you guys would really like to see it if
Yeah,
possible.
yeah,
And then for the community space, we're gonna up the space because we felt like it was a little small compared to the other requirements.
both the
And
inside and outside.
Yep, and civic build, yes, for both. Civic building, we're gonna clarify how steeples are defined, and then we're going to say that we think it could be raised to 5 with the criteria we just discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Great.
And-
That's nice and easy.
And clean up the language to,
Yes,
it's one of the following.
yep, oh, thank you, yep, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, and I haven't been thinking about that one because I just was like, why is it still like this? There's something, sorry, guys. Be grump.
So we put at the end of the agenda, other, just in case there was something else arising. And, you know, liaison meetings, I'm just assuming that we're kind of at a low. We're not in an energetic
I have
space right now.
I obviously have not been to the Conservation Commission meeting. I did see that
New
Victor is no
appointments,
longer
yes, sharing,
involved and
Yeah.
Shannon's the chair. And on their agenda is a thing about the natural areas plan, but I don't know what they're doing.
right,
I've not been, and I don't know if I will be able to go soon.
are their meetings, virtual? I mean, can you
Um,
attend by Zoom?
Yes, it's usually in this room,
Yeah, they're virtual.
and Josh is here, so he can run
Yeah,
the machine.
Yeah.
Um,
so I'm just, yeah.
yeah,
And
If you're
I'm
not
not-
getting a Zoom link for that one automatically, you should email Josh.
okay,
I only tell you to do that because I'm gonna forget to tell him.
okay,
Just email Josh and ask to be added as a panelist, and then you'll get an automatic Zoom link the way you do for this meeting.
Cause I did notice that there were a couple of new appointments, by the select board at the last meeting last week,
Oh, yeah, they got a new one.
so,
They got a new
Yeah.
person.
yeah.
I'm hoping they'll come back to speak to us a little bit more about the natural areas plan. Josh and I wanna check in with them about that a little bit.
Yeah.
They do seem to be working on that from my knowledge. Shannon's the new chair, Chris Dwinell's the treasurer, and Angela Brewer's the secretary.
Okay. I guess that's it for now, and we are, we are
After
adjourned at 5:39.